All right. And we're back. Welcome, everyone, to the Play Without Evil channel. Our Tyranny of Dragons campaign continues. Last week was the climatic conclusion of the level 0 adventure. And now everyone it's going to be 10 years later, and they're all level 1. But let's start with a not very short recap of what happened. So some details of how we finished off the level 0 stuff. It was the 6th day of Mythal, a very long day that continued for the group of young friends. The danger around them grew as they met Shuan, the local and not so secret head of the Harpers in Hill's Edge. Hagrid had updated Shuan on what Spot, Jinx, and Luna had seen and heard at the old hideout, and about the abduction of Alamir's father. She had a group of people gathered and ready to help, and asked the kids to help her group identify the victims and anyone else who might need to be protected as the hideout was investigated. They agreed, and on the way there, they got to meet Captain Ordon Rani, the captain of the City Watch, and four of the City Watch people who he had brought with him. They also met Moralia Orisandora, one of the local representatives of the Lord's Alliance, and the dwarf Yakulda Onyxbasher, who is a local representative of the Order of the Gauntlet. With these formidable adults to protect them, they approached and entered the hideout. And while Shuan and Moralia went upstairs to deal with the leaders in the office that Spot had, where Spot had seen them before, Captain Ronnie led the rest of the group into the basement and through the secret door into a dungeon lair. And there they eventually discovered a room where cult members were sacrificing prisoners to a chained up green dragon wormling. They arrived just in time to see the one prisoner that they knew and had seen get dragged into the building, the young bullywug from the dock community, Grublup. They watched him be tossed to the wormling and immediately just torn apart. And battle ensued, and Jinx's brother was seen towards the back and was the only cultist who didn't follow the attack order from the Red Dragonborn, Zolduth Eaglehide. There was also the missing member of Spot's gang, Jeffa. And as the rest of the cultists moved forward and attacked, Jeffa went back and freed the wormling from his chains. The wormling flew across the room to try and escape, but Spot and Luna focused their efforts and held the door shut, barely being able to keep the dragon from pushing through, and kept him from getting out. And as Jinx and Alamar ran to get help from Shuan and Moralia, Spot and Luna, holding the door, listened as the fight continued on the other side. After a while, Captain Ronnie said, "Please, open the door." They did. And what they saw was the members of the City Watch, the four regular watch people, most of the cultists, and the dragon were all lying dead on the floor. Zolduth stood by the far wall holding a blade to the remaining two prisoners' throats, and Jinx's brother stood frozen, almost in the exact spot where he was when the battle started. Jeffa was crouched low, trying to stay unnoticed, hiding even in the northeast corner. And after there was a brief discussion between Captain Ronnie and Spot, and Spot pointed out, said, Jeffa probably needs to be arrested, but Jinx's brother is definitely definitely a good guy. Don't do anything to him. And in response, Zolduth drew and threw a dagger at Jinx's brother, and it struck and pierced his chest, and he fell to the ground. Luna ran over to try and help, and Captain Ronnie used the distraction to rush forward and cut down Zolduth before he could attack anyone else. But the damage had already been done, and as Luna watched, a black discoloration quickly spread across Jinx's brother's body. Within moments, the entire body was covered, and then it turned to ash, the dagger lying in the center of the ashen cloth. So with the battle concluded, Jeffa was arrested. Shuan took the dagger from Luna, and then she took all the kids upstairs, and they helped her look through Oth's office. And he was there. She and Moralia had killed him, but they had not found the main leader, Ladria. And so they were looking for evidence of where Ladria might be, hoping that that also would lead them to Poopsie the pseudo-dragon and Alamir's father. They found evidence of an apartment being rented, and they sped over to find it abandoned, except for a badly beaten but alive Althadon Era, Alamir's father. They also found a perch where Poopsie the pseudo-dragon must have been held, but of Ladria and the dragon, no sign was found. Assumedly, they had already left the city. In the days that followed, it was discovered that the Dragon Riders, this cultish group, was actually a group of recruiters for an established and well-known cult called the Cult of the Dragon, a rather evil organization created over 500 years ago by Semaster the Mad. And they were recruiting new members, also trying to recover treasure taken from a dragon's hoard, which is why Alamir's father had been abducted. And also trying to keep the green dragon wormling safe until it was ready to be released into the wild. But with the courageous help of this group of young friends, they were stopped and unsuccessful in accomplishing any of those goals. So now,
other than taking a dragon that we're looking for.
that's true. But that wasn't part of the cult's original goal to be there. That's just something they happened to do. So now 10 years have passed. It's the 30th of Tarsak, the fourth month of the year, the day before Greengrass, the celebration of the beginning of spring, in the year 1503 Dale Reckoning. And we find our group of friends returning to Hill's Edge as they promised to do years ago, to reconnect and celebrate the 10-year anniversary of their intense and all too memorable adventure. So let's see what they've been up to and what kind of people they've grown into. So some of you have been away longer than others. Let's go ahead and let's start with the one of you who's probably done the least amount of traveling over the years, Spot. So you've been training at a monastery up till recently in El Turel.
Yes.
What would you? So you're the first person back. What do you do when you reach Hill's Edge?
I go around town and check out the old hangouts and stuff, see if things are still the way they were when I left. I mean, it's only been probably a couple of years that I've been gone, maybe. The majority of my time was spent here before I went to the monastery, so trying to check in with old friends, check up on Hagrid, see how his new pseudo dragon is, or anything else that might have changed along the way. Check in with the captain of the guard again, just to let them know I'm in town, and if they need any help, I'm here, that they can call on me. And yeah, just seeing how things are mostly.
So you were the person who had named the Poopsie. So, and you just mentioned that Hagrid has a new pseudo dragon. What's his or her name?
Um, I don't know. I'll let somebody else name them this time.
All
I
right.
don't know. It's a cool name.
But Hagrid has a new pseudo dragon, so that we know.
That's his favorite pet, and since he lost Poopsie, he was looking for a new one. So with the stuff and the favors that I accumulated through the time frame, I was able to get one off of a wandering trader that came through.
Okay.
And had some rare animals and stuff. Maybe traded a few favors with him and pulled in some favors from other people to afford it and got him a new one. I don't know. We'll go with Darth. I don't know. He named it Darth.
Okay. It is now. It is officially
Darth Dragon.
It's probably short for a much longer name, but that's what Hagrid
Some
calls.
long draconic name that the guy gave me, and I just said, "Yeah, we'll call him Darth," and turned around and walked away.
Excellent. You do easily find two of that Dom, the old leader of your gang growing up, left Hill's Edge a long time ago to try to make his way as an adventurer. There you have the only rumor you've heard was that he had hooked up with some like-minded people and that they had trudged off somewhere to the north to on some adventure into some ruins or something, and has not been heard from in a long time. It's been it's been several years. Tugrin and Vuth, however, are still in the city. Tugrin actually followed in your footsteps in being a part of the training program. I know what is
the pyramid scheme
program called? It's called Brothers and Sisters of the Edge. Is the name of the mentoring program that the City Watch created that you were a part of. And he joined that, and he ended up actually joining the City Watch. And so he's now a watchman working for Captain Ronnie. As far as the other member, the final member, Vuth was always very focused on his freedom. So he really has kind of become a sword for hire. Probably does some maybe not so legal activities, continuing kind of how you guys grew up on the streets, but does relatively well for himself and is in the city. And so you catch up, you find them and other people, and you see, and the main thing in the city today is it is getting ready for the big festival. So the festival, there is a large carnival and games and food and drink and all types of things that will be happening on the morrow, and everyone's getting ready for it. Do you have someplace in particular that you stay when you're in town now?
I would probably stay at Hagrid's and rent a room from him. And if he ever said he wanted to just let me stay there, I would insist on paying him or leave him large tips and whatever, because, I made my own way now. So there's no need for the handouts.
Excellent. All right. So then you go and get your probably a pretty standard room at the what is the name? The Stone Saddle Tavern. Yep. Very good. All right. The next person coming into town who's done the next, who has done the next, maybe a little further travel from that would be Jinx. You're muted.
Sorry about that. You're wondering what I spent my time over the last while.
So yeah, you would have traveled at least to some places. You have any idea like where you would have traveled? And
mainly the from Hill's Edge all the way down to your Candlekeep areas. Maybe you went through Butler's Gate and then up Waterdeep. Basically the whole coastline.
Okay.
Wasn't a huge fan of Neverwinter. Luskin,
So you went all the way up to Luskin. Oh, that's pretty well traveled.
My family, again, mentioned where they were tradesmen, tradespeople. So we got to travel a little bit, but this is where our home is. So when I come back in town, the first thing we do is we go home and basically take the sheets off or the coverings off the stuff to shake away the dust and have a nice, comfortable place to sleep.
Excellent.
And then what I've been otherwise doing is quietly trading information from person to person and group to group. While I do seem to be carrying instruments with me from time to time, I don't always play them, mainly because word of mouth tends to be a much more valuable asset than just a few strums of the lute. However, I do have a lute with me that I've carried with me for the last 10 years of my life that was given to me, and I cherish it.
And in relation to that, yes, well, like when you get into town, you barely walk 2 blocks, and from around the corner up the street, big smile on her face, you see Shuayan. It seems that either it's a chance meeting or she knew that you arrived in town.
She knew. I could tell.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she's not one you can pull a drape over.
So excellent. So then you obviously you catch up quickly with her, and she gives you a brief overview of everything kind of going on right now. And really, the main thing right now, similar to what Spot saw, was the city getting ready for the big festival. What do you do when after you're done talking to Shuayan?
Well, as we enter town, like I said, I would after I did that, I would probably head home first to open up the air, so to speak, and kind of make sure no riffraff came in while we were gone, I guess.
Yep. And your house is exactly more or less as you remember it. Your parents, of course, aren't home because they have, their booths and stuff, things that they're doing for the festival.
By the way, which festival is this?
Green Grass. It's the celebration of the beginning of spring.
That's all I got, really.
Okay, very good. So next in travel would be Alamir.
All right, so, Alamir. We know he is a seasoned adventurer. Well, a seasoned traveler. So, him going to Candlekeep was his destination this time, and he expected to be there for the usual 4-6 years, whatever it was. But he caught on to it rather quickly. So he actually finished his school in about 3 years, and at the same time, he made some friends, made some enemies, and proceeded to what he thought would have been his first love, who stayed in Candlekeep, and he had to leave. but he stayed in contact with back in town, back with his dad's old friend who helped him out at our last 0-1 adventure. What was his name? You see, that's how good of a friend he is. Majari. Been keeping in touch with him this whole time, just to have contact back home besides his parents. But it's he's become one of his trusted, I guess, friends, or trusted maybe someone he can go talk to when he doesn't want to talk to dad or mom. And because Majari does a bunch of traveling, he would swing by Candlekeep here and there, and they would meet up. But now he's back in town, so he's going home. He's going to go visit with his mom and dad, and possibly go have a dinner out at Chili's, and just enjoy the warm cooking of home, because it's been a while since he's been home, just like everybody else.
Yep. And in addition to just going to Candlekeep, you have spent the last 10 years around your training going to different parts, on trade missions, mercantile missions for your father.
Yeah.
So you have been not just up and down the Sword Coast, but like all the way down to Kalimshan and probably
he's
up to
getting a lot of territory under his belt.
Yep, and including east to the Sea of Stars and to some of the major cities right on the edge there, just this side of Thay. So you had a good amount of travel. So you were there. Your mother, of course, is home, and will notify your father, and whatever he's doing, he will come home early to spend time catching up with you.
Good.
Very good. All right. Finally, the most widely traveled of the friends is Luna.
So how you doing today? I've traveled all over from the spinal world down to the jungles of Cholt and around and back. And when I had time, I may have slipped back over to the Wild Fae occasionally when was safe to. You want me to cover on what I would do right before I come back into town?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have an idea of what you were doing right beforehand, sure.
My first stop is I'd stop off at the Druid Grove right outside of town and talk with the 3 Druid Masters, each of which was trying to vector me to a different path in the Druid lines. After I talked to them and kind of got a sense of what was going on, and just ensure that the darkness that was after me when I was younger had not showed up here yet, because I wouldn't want to put people in danger if it had not. Then I would go in to see 2 different people, Sarla, and then I would also see Cheyenne. That's the 2 I would go see next while I'm looking for my friends to see if they made it there yet.
And you find out that they are in town, especially if you find Shuayan or she finds you. Absolutely, you know that your friends have all come into town earlier in the day before you.
Okay. And then I'd go find them after I pass through the other 2, just kind of checking in, see what was going on.
Would you take a trip out to the Grove to visit your old mentors?
Yeah, the Grove would be the first place I would stop at, talking to the 3 Druid Masters there before I came in to see Shuayan or Sarla.
Very good.
Wheat, the Druid Guardian.
Yep. Okay. So, stop that. Okay. So you're all in town. You've kind of gotten your caught up with important people in your lives, and then later on, you all seek each other out. You all would know that Spot, not stays at the Stone Saddle Tavern, so you would know that would probably be the best place to find him, and probably would be, historically you're all really used to meeting up at the hideouts or wherever Spot happens to currently live. So, and the Stone Saddle is especially now that you're all older and able to not feel uncomfortable being in the tavern and sitting at a table, would be a natural place for you to all meet when you're in town. So unless someone has thinks he would do something else, I would assume you would all eventually meet there.
That would
I'm
be my
assuming-
next stop.
Yep. Like, meet up. Our gathering is like meet up the night before at Hagrid's, and we can catch up before the festival the next day.
Yep. So you meet up, you have dinner, some drinks if you drink. Hagrid is excited to see you all. You all get to, get to catch up with Darth. Get to hear about the probably the latest stories from the talking door. Who now after all these years probably just tells stories about people who have done stupid things inside the tavern. And
I go up to the door and ask him if he's heard any secrets lately.
and
Anything good and juicy?
no, nothing that I can think of. Like since I saw you last, it's just been work and new people coming in. There's a lot of new people in town right now for the festival. Festival time. Usually, there's rumors like there always are of, the temple, the Dark Temple, wanting to try to disrupt things or abduct people during the festival. But hopefully nothing will happen with that this year.
Hope so. If you hear anything, let us know.
Of course.
Jinx! And I turn around and run and say hi.
I run up to him. How tall are you, by the way?
I think my character's actually shorter than most of my other characters. What did I put?
I just saw he's orc, so I figured he's tall.
Yeah, I'm going to say probably 6 foot.
6 foot. Okay, you're still tall. Good. I run up to you and hug you like I did when I was a little kid. More of a style like you, because you're still somebody to look up to. And welcome back. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
Yeah, same here. How's it going?
You're stronger.
Meditation does wonders for the muscles.
Yeah. That door's still around. That's all I have to say about the door.
Yeah. From the other side of the room, you hear the door, right? Is McAllister Shade is the dwarves' intelligence's name, and you hear him. Oh, right. You think you know what stupid is? I tell you the story what happened last week over in the corner. He just goes off on a story, talking about people who obviously had way too much to drink and thought that they were, they were going to entertain the rest of the room.
I don't think. Yeah, he doesn't have friends. I don't think.
I think the only ones he had were the ones that rescued him out of that monastery, that old building, church, monastery, wherever it was. I don't know. It's been so long.
I mean, I could see they throw some tomatoes at him a few times.
So the evening goes on. You share stories, and it's still a few days away from the 10-year. Technically, the 10-year anniversary is like the 3rd through the 6th of. So it's actually 4 days away of the next month. So, but you're all here in time for Greengrass, for the festival. So is there anything specific any of you might want to do before next day in the festival?
Nothing
Well,
particular on my end.
First, I'd like to say is, can you believe it's been 10 years? I mean, it feels like a week or two.
Feels like a few-minute update. I don't know. No, time flies when you get busy with stuff.
All right. So if there's nothing there, everyone kind of goes home to their beds and has a good night's sleep. And I'm sure you set a time and place to meet tomorrow. And so we move to the next day, and you head just outside of town. So going through, actually, this would be going through Vale Gate towards the Grove and towards the forest. But then a little east, there's this cleared area, and out there is an area where they have set up, and it's kind of nighttime. It's the only image we kind of have here. There is a carnival set up. And yes, this is an image from Beyond the Witchlight. The carnival has a lot of the Feywild kind of elements to it, given the strong connection to the Feywild in the Reaching Wood right next to Hill's Edge. And so you will find a lot of various games and such, similar to what you would find if you traveled to the Feywild for their festivals. So there is. So I guess first, in addition to the carnival games, there are some other groups that have set up. So there's obviously lots of food vendors, drink, set up, and like little long tables under tents set up for like little feasting and drinking areas. A lot of the various taverns and inns in the city have set up. Hagrid is a kind of too small an operation. He doesn't get involved with that, but some of the other larger places do, like such as the Storm Griffin. What's the other big one? Storm Griffin and the Happy Hippocampus. Those two definitely have really large tents set up. In addition, there's a lot of obviously music, people walking around. There's stages where they're putting on shows. There's mummery shows with different acts and stories being told. There's performers singing, telling stories. doing comedy, juggling, all types of things. And there's also some special events. There are one particular forest event. It's called Forest Frolicking. They are supervised trips into the fringes of the reaching woods to kind of experience the magic, like the fey magic that permeates the area. But they're, obviously they don't go deep enough to actually, put anyone in any danger. And it's more like going on a ghost tour where you're told stories and just kind of shown specific spots and just kind of it's kind of like a nice little excursion that couples would go on just to have something interesting to do in between other events. There's also booths set up representing some of the groups in the city. These booths are done for recruiting purposes and educating people about what they do. And in the first two that you come upon in the row of the booth row, you have on opposite sides of the path, and the path is a good like 30 feet wide. You have the Cry of Joy, the Temple de Lyra on the one side, and you have the Fist of the Future, the Temple de Cyric on the other, like staring daggers at each other and trying to draw people. Now, obviously, the Cry of Joy, the Joy Maidens that are there are gathering a lot more people to them than the Temple of Cyric is. And at the Temple of Cyric, you see this human male dressed in all in black, and just staring daggers across the way at the Joy Maiden. Actually, in the Joy Maiden, manning the booth when you come up happens to be Joy Maiden Cassie Cassell, who you had met briefly in the past. It's interesting that she would be manning a booth. You know her to be kind of shy, and also frequently in the middle of trying to explain something will use the wrong word. So she's kind of an interesting choice, but she's a very nice person. So you see her over there kind of leaning to the side. She limps. There's some, she has some missing toes on her left foot, so she limps and favors her right side.
So when you say we know her from the past, know her as just in a past glancing, know her, or know her because we've talked, we've done something with her, or is she just a regular?
So you would remember.
Would it be wrong to walk up and say, give her a high five? Hey, Cassie,
Nope.
How you doing? You're looking great. It's been 10 years. Wow.
So she was the person, and you've seen her over the years at other times. She was the person who told you that she had, who shared some information with you, or you was one of the people that you all went up to when you were looking for Hagrid.
I ran off and ran back and hugged her, then ran back off again.
And she gives you a big hug, and she's very happy to see you, and and then she kind of goes back to sharing information about upcoming festivities and events that's going to be held at the temple to the other people who are there. Beyond them is two other temples, smaller ones in the city, but there's the Kiss of the Lady, the Temple of Timora, and also the Old Sharp Sword, the Temple de Tempus. Beyond that, you see Clive Two Toes McLaughlin manning the Monster Hunters Guild, sharing information and trying to tell people about all the wonderful things that they do that help protect the city, and that help young people in the city and people who come to the city find purpose in life. And across from them is you see two people of two watch people, city watch, a fire genasi, a male fire genasi, and a female halfling, who are manning the brothers and sisters of the Edge booth. And then there are two more booths beyond them, the final two booths. You see a booth on the right. You see the Guild of Foreign Trade being manned by one of the local members. The Guild of Foreign Trade is the local city guild that organizes and controls all the mercantile transactions in the city. So they're very powerful.
Would I know them?
Huh?
Would I know them?
You, I'm sure through your father, you've met a couple of people here and there. You probably aren't friends with any of them. He doesn't have.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
And on the other side is a booth, an organization you've never seen before. It's called the Order of Angels. And you see two people manning the booth. And you hear them talking up, like there's like pictures and stuff of things, like illustrations of things that the organization has been doing in the city. So this is the first person, Mother Shazmi Mimuni. So this very young elf with a scar above her left eyebrow. That's like which she covers. You can see it when her hair kind of moves as she moves around. She has a nervous fidget, playing with her fingers or whatever is in her hands, piece of paper, whatever she happens to be touching at the time, or just kind of playing with her clothing in some way or form while she talks. But then she seems to be explaining to a fairly large group of people about the type of things that the organization does. And then next to her is, I believe, let me just double check real quick. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, okay, we're just going to do that. That works. All right, you see a human male, Brother Brock. And he is smiling and joking and just kind of not necessarily focusing on disseminating information to people as much as just kind of getting people to feel comfortable and interested in what Mother Shazmi is talking about. And beyond the booths, you see the carnival games. Begins the carnival game row. So is there anything you guys would like to do? Anyone you want to go talk to, or you want to go check out the carnival games?
As we walk by the a couple of the temples, I'm assuming I see a couple beggars here and there, and I flip a gold coin to one of the beggars. And as I flip the gold coin to the beggar, I ask, heads or tails?
Tails.
I put my, I sit there, I start walking away. And basically it was a test to see if he's a follower of Lady of Luck or not. And if you have no idea what it is, that means he's not a follower probably, and it's fine.
Nope. Very good. Anything else? Anyone else have something?
Do I have any insight to Mother Shamaji, the representative of the angels?
Do you want to just like get a feel for what you think about her?
Well, no, I was just looking at she coming back from a different angels than where my background comes from.
So that's a good question. Go ahead and make let's see. So if you're trying to determine a relationship between her and your history,
My Asmari history.
yeah. So go ahead and do a either an insight or just do an insight. Just do an insight. Okay. You do not get any indication, see anything that kind of strikes you that she is related to and that she has any ASMR blood or that the organ or that anything that she's presenting is related to that.
Okay, good.
Yep. So as you kind of like you stand there and watch her a while, and as you watch her, like you hear her, she's talking about. You hear a couple of the events, the things that they are doing in the city, including feeding homeless people, providing minor healing services. And they're also working to clean up parts of the city and repair dilapidated buildings that they hope to be able to make into cheap housing for people who are homeless or who maybe make a little bit of money, but all they can really afford is to live in the hostels. Maybe they could provide housing for those people.
Do I pick up what type of healers they are? If they are they just representative of a healing order?
There is no specific symbols like of deities, but it sounds to you like it's clerical type services.
Okay.
Yep. Or
just curiosity
or something, but it sounds like what they provide are magical healing services.
They're not peddling snake oils.
No.
I'm joking about
unless
that.
snake oil cures you.
Yeah,
That's true.
it could be.
The mercantile selling people booth thing. What are they boothing? What are they selling? Are they saying join us and see the world and be mercantile, or hey, look, it's cotton. Hey, look, it's wool.
No, what?
$2,
So
1 foot.
This is and actually in the so at this booth, right? So the booth of the Guild of Foreign Trade, you see this this fairly older, distinguished gentleman with a black goatee, mustache and black goatee, cropped hair on the side, that kind of with kind of a comb back fop, hair just kind of combed back on the top, and lots of gray streaks in it. And I'm sorry, female. So that's correct, except the hair is a little longer, not much, just to the nape of her neck. So human female, and you can tell she's really not happy to be manning the booth, but is perfunctory, you know, giving information to people, and that's what she's there for. It's really kind of like, here's what we do in the city, here's our samples of like some of our major trade goods. She has like samples of like weapons and armor, which are actually the primary exports of Hill's Edge, weapons and armor. She also has some samples of very more common, a couple of uncommon types of like monster pieces, like horns from like wyvern teeth, and some scales from different types of snakes in the area, and all these little things like hearts from different types of creatures, beetle carapaces, all these little things that people go out and gather and then become part of.
So it's strictly a learning booth,
educational
booth.
It's an educational booth. Yeah, they're not trying to recruit people or anything. Yeah, right. In any way, shape, or form.
Got it.
Is that it? All right. So then, your eye is drawn to the booths beyond these, to the row of games, to more shows going on. There's more. There's more mummers shows about romance, debauchery, adventure. Lots of stuff about adventure. It's Hill's Edge, and all of these various games. So I'm going to share with you. Here is a list of all the games. So you have the Amaraj Ring Toss, and Catch the Dragon by the Tail, where you're trying to catch a fairy dragon. You can compete in a poetry contest against Panaros the poet, a gnome. You can wrestle 2 halflings. There are 4 peacocks running loose in a pen, and you can try to guess the total number of feathers on them, and see how close you can get. And you can have a staring contest with a cyclops. You can get on giant goats and joust against other people or each other. You can try to dunk a kobold dressed up as Salty the Pirate. And you can test your might, trying to swing a mallet and trying to make the what do you call the ceramic bead go up and hit the bell at the top. There's a pie eating contest. There's a rope ladder that you could try to cross and ring a bell. And there's the great Kotesi, Chotasi, claims to have the fastest hands in all of Western Faerun, and you can try to guess which the location of a ball as she spins around, spins one in one of the cups. And for all of these, they cost gold to play. so none of the riffraff are none of the poor people in the city are able to play these games. But there are tickets that you win, and every 50 tickets gets you a spin on the prize wheel. And at the bottom, you can see the type of prizes that you can win when you spin the prize wheel.
Nope, all of them are too rich for my blood. I'm still, poor monk urchin person, so I'm out.
Do we have any coin on us?
You should. At first level, everyone should have some coin on you. Not a lot. If you don't have any already, then give yourself. Go ahead and give yourself, or if you have less than this, go ahead and give yourself 20 gold.
Okay.
You all should have at least that much.
I neglected my inventory. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I just, you're just running around in your underwear with no items. It's no.
Hey, I look good in my underwear.
Only to you.
So,
I'm my biggest fan.
That's what all the trees say when they turn away from you too.
Don't have a chance to turn.
I thought they outlawed halfling wrestling like 100 years ago.
Right.
that would have been so they did, but that was only in Kalimshan. Here north of Kalimshan, it's still legal.
I can't think of any poems right now.
And you do see a lot of various people going up and playing these games, especially the ring toss, trying to catch the fairy dragon, guessing the feathers on the peacock, trying to outstare the cyclops. The giant goat jousting is huge. There's like a line for that with people, friends and couples like trying to joust each other.
Is there a way to watch one of these games for a certain amount of time to get an edge?
You could try. Like, pick one. What do you want to watch?
Well, no, I want to. I do. I want to watch the peacock.
So the peacock. So that's pretty special. So the peacock is not immediate. You can watch, and there are people who go up, and they pay the 5 gold, and then they're given a little or the person running the game, who is this older teenage female human, will take a piece of paper, write down the guess for this person, their name, and kind of, and give them like a specific number, and then give them another piece of paper with that number, kind of like a raffle ticket. But then the other piece of paper gets folded up and put in a jar. And at the end of the days, when the daytime carnival rides end, so like just before dinner time, there will be a reveal, and everyone, that's when they'll open them up, and anyone who is close enough will earn the tickets at that time. So you can watch, but that's all you see, and you can overhear some of the guesses people make. You're muted.
You know how they lift their tails up, be able to use nature and instinct, know history about
Very good. So you stand there and you're watching the peacocks, and you're just staring at the peacocks. Very good. So,
And especially if they do remove feathers, because you sit here and say, well, there's a spot missing, so they don't have all their feathers. You'd be able to. That's what
so
I'm trying
let's
to
start with how much you know about peacocks. Go ahead and make a nature roll.
Oh, wait,
That's
I
it.
did
So
it
the
with
14.
advantage, my bad.
So it ends up being the first one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you know enough about peacocks to kind of know about how many feathers are around how many feathers are in the in their tails, but not necessarily the total number of feathers covering their body.
I just walk up behind Alamir and I go, "Are you literally counting them all?" Good luck.
Yes.
See you tomorrow.
I got to 5 and I stopped counting.
It's a lot. Peacocks can have up to around 175 feathers in their tails. Depends on age and how well they're taking, what kind of lifestyle, what they've gone through. Yeah, it can be a lot.
This doesn't say how many feathers they have in their tail. It's how many feathers does a peacock have?
Right. So, but I will, I will actually, so it should actually be in the tail. Because counting all the feathers on a bird, otherwise is ridiculous. And that would be a ridiculous number. I can't imagine trying to count all the feathers on
one chicken
on my parrot's body.
An Einstein, yeah.
You'd wind up with a naked peacock, chicken, or parrot.
Okay, so if with my nature check,
You end up with bloody hands, is what you end up with.
And I don't know, would you use persuasion? I'm not persuasion, perception, or I don't know, checking the insight of a peacock.
So it would.
My best educated guess.
So it is. You are very specific. Yeah, you're trying to see signs.
Strictly intelligence. Yeah.
What from your 14 nature can you see about the peacock that would give you an idea?
I'm looking for the eyes.
Feathers.
I'm looking for the eyes of the feather.
Okay.
So I'm trying to count eyes.
So that would be a perception.
Okay. Take off advantage here.
Very good. Yeah, you stand there and you're just watching, and looking at the peacock and getting a bunch of ideas as to how close to a full number of feathers each one has. And you definitely see that, one of them looks like they have a lot more than the rest, or significant enough, probably pretty close to the full amount of possible feathers. One is a little younger, and maybe and the other two, look like they may get into fights with each other.
And pull feathers and all that.
And yeah, may have had some feather pulling.
So they say that the human eye can make 10,000 discerns per second. So I'm counting with those eyes right now.
The human eye might be able to do that, but the human brain doesn't actually.
I'm a half elf.
You're not actually. You're
So
a
half
lab.
your
I'm a half elf. I'm a weird elf.
So yeah, I would say that's good. So you spend a good amount of time doing that. And we'll come back to you. Is anyone else? Is
fine.
anyone doing
I'll go
something
grab a drink.
while Alamir is watching the peacocks for
Watching the
for
peacocks.
a pretty lengthy amount of time?
Nope.
Can you
Looking at the list of on the thing and the amount of cost to play each one, it's too rich for my blood.
I had to restart my Roll20. Could you throw the list back up on Roll20?
If you go into so at the top, you know how you're in the chat, and then next to the chat there is a journal.
The third button over.
Okay.
Third button over, and then in
Player
there there's
handouts.
player handouts.
Okay.
Carnival games.
Yep.
Sweet. I learned something new today.
And that, so everything, and you see all the other NPCs too. So anytime that I share something with you, you can always go find it there. How about you, Jinx? What are you doing while Alamir is studying?
I would watch as well. Quite honestly, the only thing that I feel like two things I could be successful at. One, I am just blanking on any idea of any kind of poetry that I would be able to convince a gnome is good. And
That's what praying to your god is about.
So I'll just let you
And
know,
then,
you are more than welcome to narrate your interaction, but you can also just play these games and do it through skill checks.
okay, so I can use my character skills and not my pitiful lack of any humanist skills.
We're playing D&D. You can use your character skills.
Yeah, I would try to give the gnome poetry guy a run, just to mess with him. And if I lose, I just insult him.
Okay. So yeah, and no one else is doing this. So you walk right up, and the gnome stands up. Panaris goes, "Yeah, all right. Well, I have a taker. So, who is this illustrious poet who comes to challenge the great Panaros?"
Panaros? Is that like something you eat? The name is Jenkins, sir.
Welcome, Jenkins. So, and he goes through, the rules of the game, and best, 3 out of 5. He goes, "Would you like to go first, or should I?"
You should go first.
Very good. So, and he begins, and there's a few people who have come up, and they're to watch because.
Does he look away at me? Just looking at the crowd or something from time to time?
So he plays to the crowd, but then he turns to you, and he says, "I would love to insult you, to say how ugly you are. Then I see your features and cannot go so far. I would love to insult you and talk about the smell. Then I see the faces of those ladies who can tell. I would love to insult you and not jest or kid, but I simply can't compete with the job that nature did." And then and there's some laughing and from the few people in the crowd, and there's more people now that there's a few other people who start walking up over in the direction to see what's going on, and then it's your turn. So this is what the heck is this? It is a performance check,
which I am not proficient in.
Ooh.
Right? So I would go back and obviously do the insults just like he did back to me. Obviously, pinpointing his height, stature, and such.
Excellent.
I don't do so well.
Yeah. So
Threw me off.
He did. Must have thrown you off. But it's funny, right? And it's in the same vein. He goes, very good jest, sir. Very good jest. Excellent. Very well. So, seems I have the first one on you, but it is the best 3 out of 5. You have plenty of chances left. So, I shall continue. Well, so there once was a wizard from far beyond the shore, who was ever so famously impossible to bore. He'd spend all day reading of drying paint and dirt, then give lectures so dull they'd make your ears hurt. But hearing your rhymes is such a great chore that I fully believe they'd make even him snore. And he bows and flourishes and passes the turn to you.
I definitely can't do this today. I would start off with something completely boring and talking about just wow.
Going to the sea shanty. Once was about noodle. Sorry. We're cheering you on from the background.
Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad.
Want me to whisper one for you?
But I would
was a gnome from Nantucket.
obviously in turn spin it back at him and
Susie sells
got
seashells
nothing,
down
man.
by the seashore.
Tell him his mom is taller than him.
Yeah, I got nothing, man. I really got nothing.
Okay,
I'll
so
tell you
but you
what.
make up something else that is kind of tries to throw back something about his wit and charm.
And again, failed.
and there's some polite clapping. It's not bad. It's still same vein. People are like, yeah, yay. But he's like, I have a lead. So let us see if I can close this out on the third try, or if you can catch up.
As he looks away and as he's looking at the crowd, I am going to cast prestidigitation or whatever and make it like a stinky smell go upon his like right around his collar of his shirt or whatever and be attached to that while he's looking away.
All right.
There once was a sticky gnome from sea.
So, okay. Oh wow, I don't have this one fully written out. I got to remember. I got to.
Well, that makes sense because it stopped him from.
He stopped halfway through because he had to turn to the side from the smell.
There once was a woman ever so true, whose eyes were the purest blue. She was one that I truly did miss, and long in memory for her kiss. Last I saw her, it was under a tree, and I certainly wish she would come back to me.
And then the limb fell on you. Echoing from the crowd.
So,
it looks like she got away at the right time.
So this one doesn't quite go over as well, and people are like, where did that smell coming from? But go ahead and make a deception roll with advantage.
With advantage.
Yes. So people weren't really paying you attention. It was his turn, paying attention to you. Oh, excellent. Yeah. And nobody really notices you casting the cantrip. So go ahead and you go ahead and do you have something specific in mind that you're going to come back with, or a story, a topic?
Basically, the smell of pig poo and how he's been rolling in it. And that's the reason why the girl never came or never stayed with him. And she left because she couldn't handle his
smell.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So that aligns. So it plays off of his and goes along with the stink. So go ahead and roll this performance check with advantage. Whoa. And yes, and people absolutely love it. It gets the best reaction so far, and the crowd's built up like double the size that it started at. There's like 8 or 9 people in addition to you guys there. And he goes, very good, sir, very good. You have won. You are on the way back. I applaud you. I applaud you. Very good. So, next one. So, and he looks at the crowd and stares at and stares across the crowd. Dragons are magnificent, terrifying creatures, whether on ground or flying. They have razor-sharp teeth of steel and eyes smoldering, and of you looking to make a meal. Beneath them are piles of magic gems and gold, and they grow powerful, rich, and old. And there's some clapping. No real laughing, just people just enjoying the composition, but he's not getting the same laughs he was before. So
I was gonna say, I mean, you know that dragons don't have metal teeth, right? I just ask him that before I go off to a flourish of.
Of course they do. They have many teeth.
But they are not metal.
But they are like steel. It is like they are very sharp.
I go off about how his wit is as dim as smoldering fire. After heavy rain the night before, or after heavy rain over the night, in the morning, you know, and how he is as a candle, but burnt out. You know, he's
He is the sun when there's an eclipse. Everything that just shows shadow. There you go.
Yeah. Very good. All right.
Yeah.
So you tie, similar to the last one, you tie it in really well. The crowd is still really with you based on how well you did last time. So go ahead and roll once again with advantage.
Only if I could cast a spell on the crowd.
So not as good, but there's just and there's there's the amount of applause that's kind of evaluated, to see which of you the crowd likes more, and you barely win out. So he goes, a close one. I thought I had it. Well done, good poet, sir. It seems it is a tie. So here we are, our fifth and final poem. Here is mine. On such a fair day as this, one can believe that life is bliss. When the air still smells like spring, when roses glisten near a lover's ring. On such a fair day as this, to my adoring fans, I humbly
One clap goes up.
blow a kiss. and then he bows and flourishes, and there's some polite clapping from the crowd. How would you like to finish?
I first start off by kind of lightly, not heckling, but joking around with that person that gave the light golf clap about being his one true love and one fan. And it's a little old lady. She's older and definitely not in her prime, but still a good person. And I'm being completely in jest, obviously not trying to get her mad or nothing. Just kind of using her as the tool. And basically convincing, saying that how she or how he was only able to get somebody such as her because I don't want to insult her like that. I don't want to insult her though. So, but I go around that part, and then
So you got to spin it to insult him and not her. That it's all because of him.
Right.
But even though she is older and whatever, she is probably too young. Her eyes are probably too young to be able to stand his, gaze for the night or whatever.
Okay.
Something like that.
So playing a specific member of the crowd against him. So roll 2d10 for me. Roll 2d10. This is just a pure luck roll.
I gotta find my 2d10. I forgot how to do that. Just hold on.
2d10 or percentage?
Nope. 2d10.
Roll 7.
Okay. So you stumble a little bit, and because like just exactly how you explained it, you started on this path that was going well, then you're like, oh wait, I'm gonna I don't want to make her feel bad, and so then you kind of try to turn it around. It didn't quite come out right. But you still but it's still, the poem itself is still good. So go ahead and make a final roll with just a normal roll. She did not take it too kindly. The rest of the people around and in the audience loved it, absolutely loved it. And they you get a roaring
you just made our final boss right there by insulting her.
And and Panaros goes, oh, good, well played, sir, well played. Yes, I have been beaten. The great Panaros has been bested by this lovely young poet here. Jinkin, my thank you for the great competition. I am greatly appreciative of your wit and charm and time. Thank you, sir. And he pulls out from his pouch and gives you 60 tickets.
I nod and I give him just a nod of a thank, and then I immediately go out to the crowd, to the lady, and just kneel down in front of her and just apologize to her, because I don't feel like it was nice, and
Oh,
I felt bad.
yes. And she goes, "Oh, I know. It's quite all right. I understand, and it obviously was helped you win the contest. Do not worry, young man. It is okay."
I thank her for her understanding.
Um,
I give her a hug.
oh, and she's very appreciative of the hug. So nice of you. You have a great rest of your time at the carnival. Happy spring to you.
Turn around and I kind of like, raise her hand up in the air and like, huzzah!
And several other people, some of them trying to walk away, but everyone's like, huzzah! Yes, in response. Excellent. All right. I assume that Luna and Spot were watching Jinx during this time.
Yes, we were.
They weren't watching me count feathers.
Nope. But you have had plenty of time to count feathers. So would you like to if you would like to put in a guess, you can do so, and I will give you advantage on the roll. It is so if you're ready to do that, it is a straight intelligence check with advantage. So just adding your intelligence modifier. Ooh. So you you put in a guess. And they write down the number. It's probably, your guess is probably in the around 620 range. And so they give you write down the information, your name, and a number, and they give you a ticket with a number on it, and they tell you come back right before dinner to be able to for the reveal. Or actually, they stick around like even through dinner. At any time from the reveal through dinner, you can come back and they'll find your thing and pay out any tickets you might have. Okay. Yep. All right. Anyone want to do anything after that? Oh, you guys have. Jinx has 60 tickets now.
I want to try catch a dragon by the tail.
Ooh. Okay. So there's a little bit of a line, but it goes pretty quick because 3 chances to catch fairy dragon go really quick. So okay, because you get blindfolded, and you see the fairy dragon, get blindfolded, and then you go for it, and then they kind of lift it up real quickly, and you see where it is, and then you can do it again, and they do that one more time, and that's how it's done. And so far, you see people get close. Some of them might actually like brush the scales of a foot or especially the tail. But this fairy dragon is extremely agile and evades, just slips through the fingers of everyone who is trying to catch it.
Okay. Let's
So,
see.
do you want to do? Are you just trying, or are you preparing in some special way?
My strategy would be when I do get in there, I would be speaking to the dragon through Draconic and Druid,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's any sweet words I knew in Fairy, just to entice it, bring it closer to me if
Aha.
possible,
Okay. So
piquing
so
its
then
interest.
before so would you say you're trying to persuade it to maybe go easy on you? Or
Yeah, come to Mama.
okay.
I'm a
So
friend.
roll
Yeah, go easy.
start by rolling a persuasion check.
Okay.
Okay. So you it the creature seems kind of shocked. Um and it says, I'm I am surprised you speak Draconic, friend. I am Nicarissa. So let us see if you are as good catching me as you are speaking.
I am just here to grace your presence,
So
my
That's
beautiful
kind of
dragon.
selfish. You're there to grace your presence.
Grace the dragon's beautiful presence. I'm stroking the dragon's ego, and even I am very slow. Please go chill on me.
so the blindfold, you're able to see where she is. You're blindfolded, and you will go ahead and roll a perception check to try to catch her, and you'll get +2 on the roll. We'll just add 2 to your roll. So +2, 17. You reach out and you can sense like she's still there, and you reach out and your hands like just go across her belly and almost all, and you feel the one foot just sliding out of one of your hands. You almost but barely, you just couldn't quite grasp quickly enough to grab the foot before she slipped out. So you have officially missed on the first attempt.
I compliment her on how graceful she is to the touch and soft.
Very good. Roll another persuasion. She nods and, oh, thank you so much. You are such a well mannered person. I am happy to have met you. So they show you where she is again, put the blindfold back on, and you make your second attempt. You can have advantage this time. So with advantage, you knew where she was, and you tried, but you tried to go directly for the feet this time, and miscalculate her direction, and she's not there, and she's you feel the air of her moving away, and her wings flap, but you miss her entirely.
I compliment her again on the legends of her beauty and stealth does not measure to her true measure.
So they show you where she is again, And this time you see her wink at you very, very softly. And then go ahead and try again. Make another
Perception.
perception. Yep, with advantage. I don't think you rolled with advantage that first time. I didn't. I gave you +2. That's right. That's why.
Yeah.
And that one. So 14. So that is with she winked. So like she waited half a breath before she started to fly away. So the DC actually dropped to 14, or actually to 13. So yes, you reach out and you just barely catch the feet before she goes away. You kind of lift your hands a little bit so that it's not a rough, like abrupt stop to her in flight. And you have caught her, and and she they take the blindfold off, and you see she's smiling, and she nods at you, and you are given 10 tickets.
Okay. I'm very gentle with Grace and thank her for
And
the opportunity.
And she once again she thanks you and for your gentleness and your compliments, and wishes you luck and fun at the rest of the festival.
I wish her the same. Anybody else wants to do anything else? Or when's the pie eating contest, by the way?
That is the pie eating contest is right before dinner.
Well, that's a great time to have it. To be right after, that way they can't eat.
Yep.
Say most of them are usually held right after lunchtime. I will go try the rope ladder, I guess. A certain specific strategy that I know because I know how to win the thing in real life. So
yeah, so do I. It's still not easy.
yeah. How many rungs is it from the bottom to the top? And do they have a painted red ring like they do on most of the games in real life?
They do have. Let's see. Where is this?
Pink.
Rope ladder. So it rises at a 30-degree angle. Rings a bell. How many rings are there?
Normally, I think there's 12, and the red ring is 3 from the top, or 4 from the top.
Yeah, I was going to say I think it's 8 to get to the. Yeah.
Because the red ring indicates where most people get, and then they fall off because they don't know how to get the balance at that point forward.
Right. So that's fine. Let's say 12.
Okay. My strategy is to stay separated. I move my left arm and my right foot at the same time, my right arm and my left foot at the same time until I get up to that ring. Then I slide my foot to the middle of ladder. I balance on one foot on the middle of the ladder. I reach up with my other foot to the middle of 2 rungs above it, which is 1 ring below the red one, and then jump and hit the button.
Very good. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check with advantage. Very good. Yes, you. It wobbles when you get up to that last point, but then you make the leap, ring the bell, and off to the side, and there's a lot of clapping. Everyone's like, "The first one today, yeah!" And
that's the spare gold I have, so 3 gold.
Excellent. And you are given 60 tickets. and a couple of people come over. This one couple, dressed really well in their best, like almost like show going finery, and the woman goes, you have such a quite a technique there. Can you must know a secret, like how is this done?
You must keep your balance, keep your wits, and balance till the very end. And then I bow to her, and I bow to her on one leg as I go down, and then I come back up.
All right. And she's like, balance and wits. I see. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And they go walking away.
As they walk away, I just say, "Don't let the crowd get in your head," and I walk the other way back to my friends. Because I'm sure there was heckling and like, "Oh, you're not going to do it," blah, blah, blah. Well, I was trying to do it, so.
All right. Anything else? So does anyone want to play anything else? You now have a total of 130 tickets. Or you're 20 tickets shy of a third roll for a prize. No? We all done with carnival games for the day? Okay.
I was looking at the pie eating contest.
Oh, that's right. You wanted to do the pie
just
eating
gotta
contest.
stare at the Cyclops to get the last 30.
Are you want to do a stare at Cyclops? Let's do that. I want to watch you.
I'm not gonna do that. I don't have any more money left. Somebody else can.
I'll try to stare at the
Oh,
Cyclops.
I was going to stare at the Cyclops.
Go for it.
I'll stare at the Cyclops.
Okay. So, staring at the Cyclops. Oh yeah. All right, Alamir. There is and there's a decent line for this. And so far there's a couple of people who have beaten the Cyclops today. But you in fact have
somebody's sprinkling dust from the side and it flies in his eyeball. That's why.
You have an advantage though. Well, possibly you have an advantage, Alamir.
I'll go and do a trance.
Roll an Arcana check with advantage.
Arcana check with advantage.
It's an illusion.
You quickly recognize that this Cyclops, who's been sitting there all day, same position, smiling, and then being serious and interacting with people, but not really talking, is definitely an illusion.
Oh, then if that's I will. Whoever's running the game, I will whisper to them in a tongue saying, "So I can either defeat your illusion, or I can make your illusion public."
And they say, "Oh, it's not a huge secret that it's an illusion. This is just kind of how it's done. But if you think you can beat it, please be my guest."
And so I will sit there. I will sit down with it, and I will sit directly in front of it, and I will beat it by poking it in the eye.
Well, so it is first one to blink loses, but knowing it's an illusion, you can basically ignore it.
I will sit right in front of it, and I will keep putting my hand through it so people see my hand just going through a Cyclops.
Okay. And you continue to stare.
Yes.
Roll a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
I was going to say the other thing I could do is go into an elvish trance with my eyes open, but since it's an illusion.
Should have just done that and you would have won.
Nah, because the illusion could have been held.
Yeah, but eventually when the carnival shuts down and you're still both staring at each other, he's gonna be like, "Fine, you won. Get up. We'll go away."
Yeah. After a while, the middle-aged balding man running
I'm taking time from him
running
making
it.
money.
He's like, very good, very good. You've beaten the Cyclops. Here, here are your 30 tickets.
Yeah, I will gladly take them, and I will walk away, just smugly.
Very good. All right. So a little bit of time passes, and it's time for the current pie eating contest. There's a long table set up, and these piles of berry pies set out on one end of it, and there's enough room for 10 contestants. I assume, Luna, you would have gone up and put your name in earlier.
Oh, yes, I would have. And I have not eaten any turkey legs or anything.
Awesome. So there are, in fact, a full 10 contestants. There is one female half orc, um, a and everyone else is human. There's one half elf, but they're all male. And you. So, do you do anything else special leading up to this to prepare?
I haven't eaten anything, so I am hungry.
Okay. Yep. And it's
Back
dinner time.
famished from the travels. And I do like berries.
Stretched your stomach out the night before with a bunch of pasta.
I love good berries. Hopefully, these are great berries.
Okay. So, all right.
The pie's made full of good berries, and you end up being too stuffed to eat more than one pie because it's too much.
That's the last pie.
I just triple my health.
So there are, actually, I'm going to do this a little different here. So the first pie is put in front of you, and there is a bell is rung, and everyone starts eating. So you are just taking in this pie out of the dish. In order to be able to finish it without getting sick, I need a Constitution saving throw. And you will start with advantage on the first one. Okay. You down it very easily, no problems at all. Of the rest of the people, whoa, there are 3 really hungry people at this table. But 3 of the people can't quite. So a couple of the half elf and one of the other human males, they've been eating all day and drinking all day, and they can't even finish half of the pie. The third one almost finishes it and just looks like he's going to be sick if he does. So just says no and gets up, and the 3 of them walk away. So then the next pie is put in front of everybody. And so there are now just 7 of you. So go ahead and make this time you get a Constitution saving throw, just a normal roll, but you'll add 5 to it. Nice. So this is, so there's 6 of it, right? 60, 20. Oh, and immediately one of the other people gets sick, and the people around them, the on two on either side. Fortunately, you're at the end, kind of far away from the person who gets sick, but they immediately get up and just have to walk away before they get sick as well. And it's just all that's left is you and the half orc at the other end of the table.
I whisper to her, I'm glad we did not get the bad berries. There
She
are some
laughs.
poisonous berries, I hear.
Yes, yes. Very funny little one. All right. Let's see how hungry you are. And the third pie is put in front of you. Based on the fact that you rolled so well this last time, you get to add 5 to this roll again.
Okay. Oh,
So 9. So neither of you finished the pie. And you're within 5 of what she had. You both stopped eating at around the same time. Like you kind of look up and she's like trying to get another bite, and you just tell like she just can't do anymore. But you both have eaten relatively about little over around half the pie each of you.
Luna, you're breathing.
And so it is. So the woman who is running the contest, she's like, this seldom, almost never happens, but it seems that we have a tie. It is only fair that our contestants split the prize, 50 for each. And they give you 50 tickets.
awesome. So we combining the tickets for the whole team of us?
Well, at this point, you have exactly enough tickets for one prize for each person.
Sweet.
With an extra 10, I believe, right? Because we had
I don't think
160
so.
plus 50.
Oh, we
You
had
said we had 130, and then we got 30
Well, I won
from the
60.
staring
You won,
contest. Yeah.
you won
That was
60.
120.
Then he won 30. He won 30, so that makes 150. And then he
But
just
he
won
also
150.
won 10. He won 10 for the
10 as well.
grabbing the
Oh, he
dragon.
did. You're right. You have 10 extra. Yes.
Need a Dakota ring.
I
or
still
something
have
for that?
the peacock feather. What did I get on that one?
Oh, that's
you could
correct.
have more.
So as this is ending, you can walk over. Unfortunately, you were
21 feathers away.
it was more than 20 feathers.
So Alamir
Okay.
gets all the extra tickets,
That's
so
right.
he can have a spin.
So yeah, you were a little off. And what you find out is that there were actually a lot fewer feathers than even you had calculated. Like
Okay.
there were
There's some pretty
there
beat
were
up peacocks.
Yeah.
yeah, the beat up peacocks, the young peacock. It looked like the feathers were spread out, and even the one that looked like it was full, it was a full spread, but it wasn't as full as. So it was probably only around 145 feathers, so a lot less than what you had guessed.
All right.
I give my extra tickets to Alamir.
Oh, he hugged you.
All right, who would like to spin the prize wheel first?
What is it?
I'll spin, get it out of the way.
2d6 minus 1. Come on, you can do it.
Yep. So just roll 2d6 and we'll subtract 1 from it.
3.
So 3. So a small pack of pixie dust. So you have a small pack of pixie dust, which can give any one creature a flying speed of 30 feet for 1 minute, including you.
Nope. That's going to be a joke played on somebody at some point.
Okay, who's going next?
Okay, I will go up and grab the dice
Uh-huh.
and give them a roll.
So 7. A wand. Oh, so you, which you can
A
already
wand or
do.
prestidigitation. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, I think the local barmaid could use this one.
Well, shoot. So, but that could be a good gift.
Mhm.
All right, who's going next? Alamir. Whoa, Alamir.
Nice.
It's a wand of secrets.
The
Cha-ching.
wand keeps secrets from you.
Exactly.
That's the
I have to
reason why
whisper
you
into the one.
borrow it
I
from the
really do like chocolate. It's a secret. No one can know.
So if you go into okay, so it has 3 charges. If you go into in D&D Beyond, it is an
Yep, I'm
actual
looking
item
at
in D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
You can
I
grab
see.
the magic item.
So is Pixie Dust with 1 charge.
Yeah. So you can use an action to expend a charge, and if a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you, it pulses and points to the one nearest you, and it regains D3 charges daily at dawn. So this is a really nice uncommon magic item.
A
Nice roll.
cha-ching. I'm
that
now
like-
the thief.
So it's not a wand, it's the book or the map from Harry Potter, right? I am up to no good, and then it just points them like right there is where it is.
Yep.
There you go. All right. Luna. 7.
I
So
feel like we've had this before.
yep. So you also got a wand of prestidigitation.
We can clean like a beast.
That's something I've never had before, so I'll have fun with this.
There we go.
Don't run
You're
Warm
from
dry,
yourself
you're
up on a
wet. You're
cold
dry,
night.
you're wet. You're dry, you're wet.
Very good. So Luna probably isn't hungry, but maybe would like something to drink while they watch everyone else eat some dinner.
Oh yeah, help wash this stuff down, and I'll clean the berries off my mouth and stuff.
So as you turn around from spinning the prize wheel, you behind you is Shua-An. And she claps. She goes, very good. You have all seem to have done well today. Did you have fun?
Always.
Did you rig them all?
Of course not. I would never do that. I thought about perhaps helping some of you in some of the trials, but it was unnecessary. In the end, things happen as they're meant to be.
It's nice to see you two when I bow to her.
And actually, just for those watching, so she is dressed a little differently than she normally does. She is wearing a almost like a ball gown, a ballroom dancing gown, not quite as frilled and wide, but it's a deep gossamer purple that really brings her eyes out even more. And she is carrying around a small harp, like a quarter size harp, and that she's just lightly strumming as she walks and talks. Just this beautiful, mild, no real melody, just like little picking of notes and chords that just kind of accentuate and create a nice, bright, airy feel to the air around her. So you are all back in town. What brings you all here for the festival?
Well,
Our
that is
10-year reunion.
10-year reunion.
Ah,
I mean,
of
some of us
course.
are friendly adults.
It is good to remember great significant events of your life, especially those that you share with others.
Yeah, well, it's the thing that changed all of our lives. As I look around each and every one of us, nodding, kind of like made us all go in different directions.
Excellent. Well, it is always good to see all of you here in Hill's Edge, especially all together. You have all grown into such fine, upstanding young people.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't go that far.
Oh, come now, Jinx. I know you too well.
Alamir just smirks. He knows.
So,
I mean, Alamir hasn't aged a day.
Nope.
yes, well, Alamir is
Special. We know.
yes. There are many within many elves who would still consider him a child, but I know that his experiences have certainly matured him
Yes.
beyond the normal experiences of other elves.
Gives Jinx a wet willy.
You're muted.
You said it.
Oh, sorry. I said I give Jinx a wet willy.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
said
know,
it.
but I thought Jinx was trying to.
Nope. I was
Okay.
just,
You said I was a
I
child.
will snap at his finger, try to, twist it.
Nice.
Officially wet willied.
All right. So the festival ends, and or the festival is coming to an end. In the evening, there are more shows going on. Shuan leaves you to leaves your group after a little bit and goes walking away and wishes you all well. And after finding out you're planning to be in the city for at least a little while, and says she's sure that she'll see you again sometime soon. So
Just turn to everybody. I go. That means she's got something in store for us.
Yeah, that sounds like work.
Party while you can. And
Well,
I order another round of beers.
The good news is we have wands to help clean up afterward, so I'm not the only one cleaning up.
So you are so the actually let's do this. So you're in a kind of outdoor garden area, having some drinks, a little food, and actually there's some additional drinks and some and some food, snacks, some cheeses and breads, a nice carafe of mildly watered wine, but nice and smooth.
But as an extra special gift, Tom, I'm going to bring out a bottle of wine from Candlekeep. Yeah, we're going to have some wizard
very
wine.
good.
I bought the good stuff, 2 copper.
What this extra stuff that came to your table, you were told was a courtesy of the Lady Shuan. And you bring out the nice bottle of wine. Excellent. So you're all sitting there telling stories, recounting the day's events and the games. And there's a ruckus from on the other side of the garden. And you look over and you see Spot, you notice it immediately, but you all see an adult now, Jeffa, scraggly blonde hair, looks a little scraggly growth of a start of a beard on his chin, and he and his teenage ruffians are pushing around this young couple, this thin half elf dressed up, trying to keep his drink from spilling, and the young lady that he's with is trying to drag him away and is being kind of stopped by two of the ruffians, blocking her from leaving.
Little trouble.
So let's say I go over and go up to Jeffa and just be like, dude, why? I know we're not friends, but you don't need to harass.
Spot, you look at Mr. Mr. Goody Two Shoes and his friends. Why don't you go mind your own business before you get hurt?
I just stand there and say, leave the poor lady alone.
I stand up, walk over behind Spot to the side.
And you see Jeffa kind of gives the nod to the rest of the people. They move away from the couple and ignore them, and they all begin walking to the sides to kind of create a semicircle around you. Well, think you're all big now, do you?
No. Anything but. Because as soon as the lady moves out of the way or gets out of there, then I turn around and start walking away.
And so as you do that, the guy just to the right of Jeffa steps forward real quickly and tries to trip you with his quarterstaff. So
I am in dodge.
And you easily step over it. And Jeffa,
I don't even acknowledge that he tried it. I just step over it like I knew it was there already. Just whatever, walk away.
So this, I need to grab one other
Yeah.
thing here.
I'm gonna walk back with him.
So, well, as you guys are walking away, Jeffa yells out, "Get him, guys!"
Can I
And they
cast
all
a
rush
spell as a
you.
reaction?
Huh?
Can I cast a spell as I hear them? He say, "Get them, guys." I can do it part of our. No, I'll do it part of my first turn if they're still there.
So yeah, let me just here. Let's do it like this. I'm going to do it like Luna stepped up behind. We'll just kind of do it like this, and I just need to grab some generic. Hold on one sec here. We'll just do this. This will work. Actually, this is appropriate. I'll just pull in some bandits for Jeffa. Come on, guys.
That's what he is.
Come on in. There we go. There we go. So they're just kind of. And we just do it just like this. All right, here we go. Let's pull you guys over down here. Aha.
So there's no pretty much the circle that's surrounding us is on the outside of this map.
What do you mean the circle that's surrounding?
You said the people started to like circle us, like
that's these
watchers.
Bandits.
The
They're
bandits?
starting to
Oh, I
move
thought you were
around.
like the gotcha. Okay, so there isn't
No,
a
no,
group
no.
of people watching us.
Yep, these
I would say
bandits.
one of them's next to me though. If he tried to trip me with his staff, right?
So that would have been probably this one. So this one stepped forward right here. Would have stepped forward and tried to trip you. So go ahead and everyone roll initiative. Let's see, add a turn. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't click on my character when I did that.
Here, let me put you in Luna. Oh, you got it.
Big fat duck.
Do it again.
Oh, nice initiative.
I am not 19.
I'll trade you.
There's a feat for that. You should have taken it if you want to trade initiatives.
Yeah, Jinx, you should have.
So this is good. This is like our first real combat of the campaign. So okay, let me just order this. There we go. So the way that we're doing initiative, you can do two things. You can actually as normal rules is written, you can hold an action, or you can choose to change where you go in an order. So if you ever want to move yourself down in an order, then that's where you are, and you'll stay there for the rest of it. But you can choose to do that. So Luna,
I like that, by the way.
These Jeffa and his crew are rushing forward. What do you do?
Okay, let me count here. 10, 15, 20. All right, so one question first. Would I have a staff or anything with me?
That's up to you.
Yeah, because I did not put any equipment on when we went from 0 to 1. So since I haven't done.
Well, very, very quickly, let's just. Why don't you just give yourself your starting equipment?
Okay.
So what you can do? I'll do it real quickly.
Okay.
I will say that if we're all wearing like leather armor, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for us to wear that kind of stuff. If we were
Right.
wearing like heavy armor,
That is true. That is very true. So if you do equipment, so do you want
Or no armor.
Exactly.
So were you going to use a shield?
Yeah, I would do a shield and a staff. Staff, you only have to have one hand on, right?
Correct. You can use one-handed. So that's a simple melee weapon, and we'll choose a quarterstaff. There we go. So what do you use as a druidic focus? Sprig of mistletoe, totem, your staff, a U wand, or a druidic or a special focus item?
For now, since I was thinking about shillelagh, I'd use probably the staff.
Okay. And then everything. Do you want a musical instrument or a gaming set? Probably musical instrument.
Sure.
And we'll just give you. What do you want? Loot. You can change it later. I'm just going to give you a loot for now. You can change it later because this doesn't matter. And you already have gold, so we don't need to give you.
Well, you can always give me more gold if you want.
Just a minute. Okay, so now you have equipment, and all we need to do is just have you. You might be walking around in your leather armor, but you probably wouldn't have your shield with you right now. So, all right, you have a quarterstaff you can use.
Oh, okay. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. So actions. And I'm torn which way I want to go on this. Now, if I use fairy fire, it can be up to 60 foot away, right? But it can be closer.
And it's a 10-foot radius, I think. So in
Um,
theory, you could get.
20, it's a 20-foot cube.
Oh, it's a
with
20-foot cube. So so you could get all but one of the bandits in it. And
I'm gonna do the fairy fire on all but one of the bandits.
bandit on the bottom or the top is out. Which one is out of it?
The one that's furthest away from me is out of it.
So the bandit on the bottom isn't going to be in it. The other 4 are. It's a dexterity saving throw, right?
Let me look here. Is tech roll? Yes, dexterity saving throw.
And DC what? 15, 14?
It's not saying it. 13.
13. So the first roll is Jeffa's. So okay. So the bandit on. So we'll just actually say this bandit. Okay, I'm not on. Oh well. Go back up here. So this bandit here and this bandit here are have fairy fire on them. Actually, let me just put it on.
You should be able to put an icon or something on them.
Yep. So let me do. Are you doing anything else?
Okay, that counts as an action. So, as a bonus action, I'm gonna put shillelagh on my quarterstaff. I can do that, right? Or not?
As a bonus action, yes.
Yes. So that's what I'll do, and then I'm done for the turn.
Excellent. All right. So Alamir is stepped away. So we will move him.
I'm good. I can tell you what's going to happen.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm going to step up here, and I'm going to do color spray in a cone, so it's going to take Heffa, Bandit, and Bandit.
Color.
So and you're gonna what's the radius on the cone? 15 feet?
15 feet, yes.
So you're going to get Jeffa too.
Yeah.
Both bandits and Jeffa. Okay.
Well, actually, I can come down here and I can do 3 bandits, but will I get spot?
You would get spot.
Okay.
You
then I'll
would.
just
You
stay
know
back.
what? No, you can actually. Yeah.
Go here.
So
So
there is
say
a way
you
you
cast
could
it
like
on
step
everybody
partly-
or all creatures or any creature you want.
So it's these 3 bandits and Heffa.
It's everyone in the cone. So no, you can do it so that you can get all 3
Okay.
bandits and Jeffa, just barely. To do that though, especially since you only like these are new spells, you're still getting used to them. Make an Arcana check, please, to see how well you can figure out the angles on these new spells of yours. That's good enough. All right, so you can get the 3 bandits and Jeffa and not hit spot.
So 60-10.
Oh, this spell has changed since the last time I've seen it used in previous.
Plus a 10. So
We haven't
total
never
of
used this in 5e yet.
total of 29 points. Start from the lowest hit point, work your way up.
29.
I don't think any of us have used this yet.
Blinded. Okay. So 29, that is going to blind the first 2 bandits in Jeffa. Wow, this guy, it's bad day for this bandit here. So this bandit here is now blinded.
I'm sorry I'm here, but we're talking, so do whatever has to be done. And then I'm going to Misty Step my way back out of there.
Here, we'll do maybe.
By the way,
Fine.
is on the Misty Fire or the Fairy Fire, any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage.
Yeah.
If it, okay.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Okay, so blinded and Jeffa, and you hear them. Jeff is like, "No, I can't see. What? That's not fair. Not fair."
Put your weapons down, and this will be over easier than what you want it to be.
Ooh. All right. So, yeah. So it's Jeffa's turn next, and he's like, "Okay. No, you win this time. You win. That's where did
Same old Jeffa.
Where did you learn magic? That's not fair. Not fair. Come on, guys." And he begins he's like, "Someone help me. And they begin walking away, and the glowing this glowing bandit and the comes up, and the other one moves over, and they help Jeffa and the other blind ones back away.
Sparkle well tonight. And I wave and tell.
Oh, wow. That was quickly done. Poor Jeffa.
Spot did not have to lift a hand either.
No.
Oh, I just stepped over his staff. That's all I did.
Oh, you lifted a foot. Okay.
The young couple that was being accosted earlier kind of steps up as they walk away, and they thank you all for stepping in and helping them.
You're very welcome. If they ever give you trouble again, just report it to the guard. The guard knows what type of people they are.
So the leader's name is Jeffa, right? Is that what I heard?
Yep.
Yes, I shall remember that and let them know. So very good. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Happy spring.
Happy spring to you too.
Just so you know, it's happy green grass day.
Yes, yes.
No,
Happy
that was
New Year.
yesterday.
Merry spring.
Oh, we're in a different time zone. Oops, my bad.
And so you go back. You go back. You sit down. You can finish your meal, and you have made it. Is the end of the festival, the end of Greengrass. Any plans? Any ideas? Any plans for what you may want to do in the coming days?
Nope. See where the city takes us.
And to see why she was interested in us sticking around town and what she had in tail for us.
So as you are sitting there, going through the rest of the cheeses and the breads, and drinking the wine, that came on the tray, and also the wine that Alamir opened, which is very good. It's a relatively new vintage, but it is has a lot of nice berry terroir from the coastal region down by Candledeep. I say Candledeep. That's not it, is it?
Candlekeep.
Candlekeep. Thank you. Yes. So, as everyone roll a d20. Just roll a d20, just in general. So, Spot, you reach down. Do you prefer bread or cheese, or both together?
Cheese.
Cheese. So you reach down, and there's just one piece of bread and a half handful of cheeses, and you look around the table, and you know that none of the rest of your companions have kind of had their fill, and there's a little extra since Luna is still full from the pie eating contest. So you grab the rest of them and go to and pick them up to put them in your mouth, and you notice partly stuck to a couple of the pieces of the cheese, and that falls off as you pick them up, is a folded note.
I pick up the note, put down the cheese in my mouth, and then I read the note.
Poison.
So
We've been eating it all night. If it's poisoned by now, we're all done for anyways.
So it's written in a very flowing script, very beautifully done, nice, but very small. So it's a very small piece of letter, just folded in half, and it says, tomorrow after breakfast, in behind the Kiss of the Lady, which is the temple to Timor. And there is a little
Harper signal.
little symbol on it. It's like an S, but then the end of the S goes kind of up, and then kind of almost like zigzags through the bottom of the S, and you know this to be the symbol of Shuayan.
I show the note to the others.
Oh, I know right where that is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all do. No need to talk about it. We'll just go there tomorrow. Meet here in the morning for breakfast.
Sounds good. How much is a room here?
So so back at the Stone Saddle Inn, a room, like there's, if you insist on paying, you'll only be charged 4 silver for the room, and well, actually, if you're only doing the room and breakfast, you would be charged 3 silver. So
Is that per person?
yeah, that's per person.
Okay.
But that's,
I'll go ahead. I was going to stay at the Druid camp outside, but I'll go ahead and spring for a room here.
Okay.
Let's see, it's 100 gold for 1 silver, right?
It's 10.
What?
It's 10 silver per gold.
Okay. I was trying.
Jinx, are you going home?
I am gonna go home and sleep in
your
a
bed.
fine bed already, and not have to worry about staying at a hotel. If anybody needs a place to crash, you can come.
And I would assume Alamir will do the same.
Yeah.
You guys,
Since you made that offer, I'll go with you then.
there you go. And
My
save
parents
your
aren't
money.
home.
Well, they will be when you get there tonight, but
Yeah,
they're
that's
gonna
true.
they will have actually after cleaning up after the long day at the festival, they will be completely exhausted. They'll go to bed late and they will just crash. So, very good.
Yeah, I would assume the Stone Cellar is kind of like my home here. Whenever I come back, I always see Hagrid. Before I left, he was like my part-time work outside of working with the, militia in town and stuff, where I would come here and, help him cook and clean and bus tables and whatever he needed just to help him out.
Yep.
So
Excellent. So you all have a place to stay. You all go to bed to meet for breakfast in the morning back at the Stone Saddle Inn, and tomorrow morning the plan is you're all going to go see what Shua Ann wants at the behind the shrine of Tamora's shrine, the Kiss of the Lady, over by the Reaching Gate. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
excellent.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone. That was a soft first battle. I didn't know how
History with Jeffa. Just tell him to go away, and he usually listens to me because he's not wanted to fight me ever since that one day. So.
Yep.
I also want to congratulate us for not killing anybody.
Go newbies.
Yeah. Wow. Boy, this is definitely is a different way to start a campaign. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and we will see you next week as we find out what Shua Ann wants of our group of adventurers. Thank you all. Have a good night.